From the Alabama News Network, this is Your Community This Week on ABC 32.
Hello everyone, welcome to Your Community This Week. I'm Mandy McQueen, and today we'll be talking with Miss Wanda Battle, the tour director at Dexter Avenue King Memorial Baptist Church. But first I'm joined by Reverend Cromwell Handy. He's the pastor at Dexter Avenue King Memorial Baptist Church, and Tashina Morris, state representative and MLK Day Parade coordinator. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, and a very exciting day right around the corner, Martin Luther King Day on January 20th, right?
Yes.
That's right.
So we're coming up on that, and you all have some special events going on, the birthday celebration as well as the parade too. So talk to me a little bit about the birthday celebration.
The birthday celebration at Dexter Avenue started 45 years ago by a person by the name of Bobby Jackson. He was a well-known musician around town, and his concept was literally a birthday party at that location. So we have jazz musicians there, other musicians, and of course the gospel and a spoken word to inspire people to move on into the next year. So it really started a few years ago as a party, not as a worship service, but as a birthday party.
Right. And will you be giving the message, or?
I will not be giving it this year. I will be leading us through it, but our messenger will be Ramonda Speller from Community Congregational United Church of Christ. He'll be our speaker this year, but we will have a special gospel, internationally known gospel artist who will be here by the name of Luther Barnes. He's been here before. He's kind of taken a liking to Dexter and Montgomery, so he was happy to come back and be a part of this particular celebration. Of course, you know we're going to have Mr. Pugh, who is well known around Montgomery, along with my brother Ron Handy and Eric Perkins, and of course Luther Barnes will be singing with our choir. So we look for an exciting and a fun time. And also, we have another little thing that's a little special, and that would be a dancer by the name of Kiana Robinson. Okay. She is a senior at Alabama State University, and she'll be doing a praise dance for her. And if you've never seen her before, you don't want to miss her. She's outstanding. Remember that name, Kiana Robinson. She's great.
Sounds like y'all have a lot of great things going on. Has it grown every year?
We have a packed house every year, and I'm hoping that everybody that can come, and oftentimes we have overflow down in the basement, and so we just look for a really good time, and we look forward to the parade coming up the hill, and then we join with them to head on up to the Capitol steps. But we try to have variety. We want it to be a fun, balloons and all the things that we have with the birthday party. So it's going to be an exciting time of variety as we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
So now what time does all that start?
It starts at 9:30. You want to get there probably at 9, but it actually starts at 9:30. And we'll just have a good time, hopefully until about 11:30, 12, somewhere along in there.
Perfect. And is the parade after all of that?
Yes, the parade actually starts at 1, and this is something Evan Holmes, Representative Holmes, started years ago. He started a march, and I've participated in this march for years, and as well as the celebration. So Representative Kirk Hatcher and myself decided that we were going to turn it into a parade. We wanted to piggyback off of the celebration for the birthday party. So when you exit the birthday party, you could come on out and join and enjoy the parade as a big celebration, just saying happy birthday and thank you.
Right. Now, will you have different groups, organizations in the parade?
Yes, we have a lot of different organizations, and everything was free. Everyone could just come and just sign up. We had to have people to sign up so we can be able to put things in order. And we have a lot of nonprofit organizations. We have high school bands. We also have Brubaker Middle School Band, which is the only middle school marching band in the city. So they are actually participating also. So it's going to be really, really nice, and we are looking forward to having this celebration.
I'm sure you'll have a large crowd for the parades too.
Yes.
Everybody loves parades.
And let us not forget compliments of Bluebell ice cream. We will have ice cream and cake there.
That's what I was going to ask. Birthday celebration, you have to have ice cream and cake.
Yes. So after the parade is over, we will gather and have ice cream and cake.
Okay, so the ice cream and cake is after the parade, right?
Right.
Is it back at the church?
Yes, it's
Okay.
the Legacy
You don't want to miss the
Center.
ice cream and cake.
Absolutely, the building right behind the church itself is a Dexter Avenue King Legacy Center, and we'll have a birthday, finish up that birthday party right there at that location with Bluebell ice cream.
Perfect. As far as the logistics of the parade, will there be certain roads blocked off that people need
Yes,
to know about?
we will actually leave from Troy, downtown, Troy University, and we will march all the way up to the Capitol.
Okay.
So, and by the time we make it to the Capitol steps, you will have a few speakers, hopefully myself, I know I will be speaking, Representative Hatcher, he will also be speaking, and hopefully the mayor will actually be there to give a few words of encouragement to the crowd as well.
And what would be kind of a little preview of your message from that day?
A preview of my message would be hope, keeping hope alive. This is the birthplace of the civil rights, and actually to be able to celebrate a beacon who shined his light all over the place, but to actually have Montgomery as the birthplace.
Right.
That's going to be part of my message.
Perfect. Well, we're going to continue this conversation in just a moment, so don't go anywhere. You're watching Your Community This Week on ABC 32. We'll be right back. And welcome back. With us on Your Community This Week is Reverend Cromwell Handy and Tashina Morris to talk about MLK, the birthday celebration, and the parade happening on January 20th. And again, thank you so much for joining me. And we were discussing earlier about all the great events. You don't want to miss it. Coming up, the birthday celebration, of course, cake and ice cream, as well as the parade. A lot of great things there. And the speakers also, we were just discussing that as we went to break, that you'd be giving a message. But you're also working on something else as well, changing a street name, is that right?
Yes, I am currently trying to change Oak Street into Martin L. King Jr. Drive. We have a short part of the interstate that's named after Dr. King, but we don't have absolutely one street within the city of the birthplace of the civil rights for the beacon of the civil rights. On the trail is what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
So I am asking the public if they have property, because you actually have to have property on the street in order for it to change. So if they can reach me at 334-799-8063.
Perfect. And I didn't realize that we didn't have, his name right there on the trail.
Yeah.
So great thing there. And again, and last year, I wanted to ask about this. Last year, you all were working on a statue, I think, that you discussed. Now, what's the process on that, or what's the update on that?
Well, we currently just last year we unveiled the bust. But we're still in the process of trying to do a full size.
Okay.
But we do have the bus, which we unveiled last year. That was part of our the wonderful time we had at the celebration last year.
Right. Okay. So great projects going on. Now, also, I wanted to ask you about the donations this year.
Yes. Even though Luther Barnes and all the great musicians are going to be there, and our speaker, it's free admission. However, we do accept donations. And our donations will go to the Dexter Avenue King Legacy Foundation. It's a foundation that we have that is for the purpose of reaching out into the community, dealing with some of the issues in the community, particularly as it relates to our youth and the kind of things that we need to be doing in order to keep them engaged and on the right path. So it will be going toward that. Our theme this year is centered around, again, each year we want to keep driving at home, forward march. If he were here today, Dr. King, we'd be marching probably for certain things right now. But we want to keep our theme going, and that's forward march in unity, love, and peace.
Great. And you all have a theme as well for the
Our
parade?
theme is believe. You have to believe in everything that you're doing.
Right.
So Dr. King believed that this day would come, and we believe just like he did.
Right, great. And Pastor, I just wanted to ask you, how do you think that, Martin Luther King, since he's passed on and everything, but how is he still impacting the current generation?
Well, one of the biggest things that I think that we have to come to realize is that we're still dealing with many of the same issues that we dealt with back when he was here 50, 60 years ago. So I believe that his message right now will be very is relevant today. We have issues with poverty and other things that are going on right now. The same thing we were dealing with 50 years ago. Many people have made great strides and economically as well, but we have a mighty long way to go. So tomorrow, well, on the 20th, it reminds us of how far we've come, but it also is a reminder of how far we have to go. So I believe that his message will still be relevant today. We don't know whether we would have dealt with them by now, but we do know that we are still dealing with some of the same issues that we dealt with 50 and 60 years ago.
Right. And I'm sure being the pastor and working at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, you see a lot of people really maybe come in from all over the world. Do you have any stories from that?
Oh, yes. Well, our worship experience every Sunday morning, I would probably say 10% to 15% of people from places all over the world. And we're old-fashioned, so we have them stand up and tell us where you're from, this, that, and other. And then we find you from Canada or Germany or Israel, different places,
Wow.
France. We say, you just made our worship experience international, so we thank you for coming to worship with us. But we do have them from all over, and of course, many of them come to tour the church and the parsonage and things of that sort, and they stay over for the worship experience.
Awesome. And we're going to talk about the tours coming up in just a little bit with Miss Wanda Battle. But again, thank you so much. And real quick, if people just kind of tuned in with us, just give me a rundown of the details again for the birthday celebration and the parade. The
birthday celebration, be there no later than 9:30. The birthday celebration would involve music, a featured artist, well-known gospel artist. Luther Barnes will be there, along with Mr. Pugh, Ron Handy, and of course, the cake and ice cream will be served later on. But we look forward to you coming. Try to be there no later than 9:30 to have a really good seat and being there.
And then the parade is afterwards.
Yes, and the parade actually starts at 1, and we will leave Troy headed to the Capitol, where we will actually stand and finish celebrating Dr. King's birthday.
Perfect. Well, a lot of great things, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you again for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
A lot of great information.
Thank you.
And thanks for your time. You're watching Your Community This Week on ABC 32. And in a few minutes, we'll chat with Miss Wanda Battle, the tour director at Dexter Avenue King Memorial Baptist Church. We'll be right back. And welcome back. Today we're talking with Miss Wanda Battle, the tour director at Dexter Avenue King Memorial Baptist Church on ABC 32. And thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Of course, yes. And Martin Luther King Day right around the corner, January 20th. But you work as the tour director every day. Well, what's the tour dates?
We're Tuesday through Friday, and then on Saturdays.
Perfect. So you're there every day, and of course, kind of talk to me a little bit about the experience. I'm sure it's a very special experience, and you probably as well get people from all over the state and all over the world too.
Oh, absolutely. I love this work. I can't think of a better job to have, where you get to meet people from every walk of life, from domestic and international locations, and even the stars come to tour, which is so very special to me as well. And on the tours, we get to dialogue and talk about not only Dr. King's legacy and how important it is to all of us, and to honor he and Mrs. Coretta Scott King, but also to understand how important it is to continue this work of love and service to humanity.
Right.
And so I'm very happy to be there.
Of course. And how did you get started as the tour director?
Quite an interesting story. A very dear family friend, retired Judge Dolores Boyd, and I had a dinner along with for Valentine's program, and we got to reconnect because we hadn't seen each other in a while. But after that meeting, a few months later, on April 26th, she called me and said, Wanda, she says, Judge Vanzetta Penn McPherson is looking for a tour guide at the church because she's the director. Yeah. And this is in 2014. And I'm on the phone on the other side, and I've been out of work 5 months. And when she asked that, I said, oh, yes, I'd love to come.
That was a blessing.
It was a blessing. And God opened that door, and all I can tell you, it is a perfect fit for me. And I've grown so, and I love the work, and I love the people.
And it shows. You are passionate. I met her once at the church, and I didn't get to go on a tour, but I could just tell. It just radiates out of you how much you love your job.
Yeah, it's come with a journey, on my personal journey of struggle and trial that I have had. Because I share on my tours that I've been suicidal and I've been homeless and had to go ask for food when I lived in Chicago. And I think people really connect with my own personal story. Yeah. And the fact that I now understand many things of the heart of compassion and the importance of it. And I now understand who God has made me to be and my purpose on this planet, and that I really do make a difference. And I hope to share that with everybody who come on the tours so that we can all take our place and continue this work that Dr. Martin Luther King not only insisted upon, which was a nonviolent movement of love and brotherhood. And so we hope to continue that. And I want to be a vessel to keep sharing it with people, to tell everyone we need to continue loving each other and embracing the diversity of us, because that's the beauty of us.
Right, and talk a little bit about that. You said, obviously the tours and Dr. Martin Luther King, his legacy, they impact, you know, the generation now. How does the tours help play a role in that and impacting the generation now?
I have to say, because of the legacy that it represents, Dexter's Church was started by upper middle class black people, and the legacy of them being one block from the state capitol, which represents Civil War, and here this church now represents civil rights history. Its history has opened a door for us to then on the tour share this amazing story of civil rights, that all of our venues here in Montgomery are telling various portions of the story. Yeah. So it's important because people want to be different. People want to change. Those who used to have that prejudice and racial mindset are now wanting to embrace being a brother and a sister to people of all diversity. Right. And that is so very important. And that's the work. When they walk out of that church from a tour, I want everybody to say, oh, I'm going to be a better human being. I'm going to love deeper. I'm going to forgive quicker. And I'm going to help as many people as I can.
Perfect. Well, our conversation is going to continue in just a moment. You're watching Your Community This Week on ABC 32. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're talking with Miss Wanda Battle on Your Community This Week, and she's the tour director at the church. And you obviously can tell that she loves her job. We were talking about that earlier, but we were also talking about the tours, how much, of course, Martin Luther King and how much these tours can impact people today, the generation today. But also we were talking about over the break, you know, it's now feeling like more than ever that people in our country need each other. We need each other and to love on each other, and you experience that every day through the tours.
Absolutely. That's a part of the tour experience, is that I allow the diversity of individuals and groups to share whatever it is that they want to bring to the tour experience. I had a gentleman yesterday who played the harmonica, and I've had groups that sing on the tours. I had a high school group a couple of weeks ago who sang different parts from The Sound of Music, and everybody on the tour were singing Edelweiss and I Am 16 Going on 17. And if they play the piano, and it makes a difference. Yeah, when they are able to come in and share their gifts and abilities.
Now you sing too, right?
I do.
Can you give us a little preview?
Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine.
See, and so you can get that on the tour as well. That is
and
so
that's
amazing.
who we are on the planet, so we have to keep letting our light shine, because that song was a favorite to be sang during the bus boycott and civil rights movement in the mass meetings and in the protests and sit-ins. But I sing it on the tours because that's who all of us are on the planet. We're shining lights, and we're letting our light shine every day.
Wow. Now, I know you touched on this a little bit earlier, but what famous celebrities have you seen?
Oh, my goodness. Steven Spielberg. Wow. Visited the church, and what an amazing experience it was. Stephen walked into the church, and because the Equal Justice Initiative send many of the stars in, and they never tell us really who's coming. They just say there's a special group or a special person who wants to come.
So you get a surprise.
Yes, and when Stephen came in, all I could tell you is we were hugging each other, and I wasn't sure he was. And he says, and I say to him, my name is Wanda, and he says, my name is Stephen. And the Holy Spirit says to me, as in Spielberg, and then I speak it out and say, as in Spielberg? And he says, yes, and I held him a little closer, a little longer.
I probably would have too.
But we had the most wonderful tour, because when you visit the Peace and Justice Memorial and the Legacy Museum, it overwhelms you. And you have to process that history that is so painful of the lynchings here in this country. Well, when Stephen came in, and there were about 10 of them in the group, his wife, Kate Capshaw, and all of their group, they were feeling overwhelmed. And we came into a circle. I asked them to come in a circle, and I opened up our time with prayer, and we began to sing Amazing Grace. Some people think that stars are in this other place, but they need that divine presence of well-being as well.
Right.
And we had the most wonderful time together.
Wow.
I really thank God. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Oh,
neat.
what a treat. She is such a brilliant woman who's advocating and representing us as women, but she's also this amazing spirit who is nurturing, and she's kind. And she spoke to the military soldiers that were on that tour that day, and I'm sure their lives will never be the same.
Oh, that is awesome. So again, and it's Tuesday through Saturdays, right?
Tuesday through Saturday.
Okay,
that's
perfect.
correct.
So if you want to go visit and do tours Tuesday through Saturday, be sure to do that. And if you have a guest or a topic suggestion, then grab a pencil. We'll tell you how to send us the information next on Your Community This Week. Welcome back to Suggest a Guest for Your Community This Week. Contact our producer, Lois Crenshaw. Her email address on screen, lcrenshaw@allen.tv, or you can even call her. That number, 649-1071. Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here again next Sunday. Have a great week, everyone.